502 car owned by Sonny Bagnell. He's driving the car tonight. It's one of the legendary cars piloted by Buddy Krebs. The number 1 Pinto Modified, originally driven by Bill Clark from the Seekonk area, was driven in Trenton, New Jersey, Thompson, and the car retired in the early 80s. Tonight being driven by Gilroy. Car number 7, the 46 Ford Coupe Flathead V8, raced at Brookline Speedway in Brookline, New Hampshire. Raced in the 60 to 65 era. Original owner and driver is Paul Ebert. And Paul Ebert, by the way, driving it tonight. Doug Farrow driving the number 32. A Ford-bodied stock car that was driven at various racetracks throughout the New England area in the mid-60s. It's powered by an inline 6-cylinder, and the little red coupe is a fine addition to the ever-growing field of N.E.A.R. Doug Farrow is the son of the original driver, now takes command of car number 32. The 22. It looks to be Steve Sonder, driven by Al Morrow, a 1949 Plymouth. John Kershaw, by the way, is trackside. He's going to do the flagging duties tonight. The number 43 car, driven tonight by Joe Berthomew. The owner, by the way, is Julian. Joe Berthomew is the current owner and hails from Southington, Connecticut. The 2X car, the 36 Chevrolet Coupe, run at the Waterford Speedbowl. Charlie Lima at the control of the 327 cubic inch Chevrolet. The number 41 is the 1965 Mustang powered by a Chevy V8. Originally rated as the number 30 out of Beach Ridge, built in 1973 by Rolly Lindblad, piloting the modified for the folks at N.E.A.R. He hails from Lincoln. Georgitis trackside, doing it the way they did years ago. High in the air with the green flag, telling the drivers, pedal to the metal. Their exhibition race is underway. The number 49, the 1972 Pinto, a Chevy V8. Used to run out in Freeport, Long Island, Islip, Riverhead, driven by Chris Young. Bob Seller, who hails from Southington, Connecticut, the current owner and driver. The 134, anyone attending races at the Stafford, Norwood, or Thompson Speedways during the 60s must remember Rolly LaPierre. It's a 1937 Chevrolet Coupe with a 54 Chevrolet frame and is powered by a 327 cubic inch Chevy. The list goes on and on. The 2X car, one of our own favorites, Al Scooch. It's Al Skulchuk out of Uncasville, Connecticut. A campaigner here at the Speedway, now campaigns the 2X, the 1972 Pinto body. It raced in the NASCAR Modified Division, driven to numerous victories. 1973 Spring Sizzler. The car was the first NASCAR Pinto-bodied modified allowed to compete. Gene Burgin, Ed Flemke were just a few of the top drivers to drive this car built by Bobby Judkins. The wrecker out there is a 1947 wrecker. It's the N.E.A.R safety vehicle, a 302 Ford V8. Driver is Roger Hall. Owner is Randy Hall. The Sensign Vega, former Reggie Ruggiero car, won the last race at the Plainville Stadium. The owner is Willie Bell. The number 1, the Screaming Eagle number 1, full-bodied Chevy Coupe, is owned and driven by the legendary Moon Burgess. The 1 Massachusetts, a 1939 Chevy Coach, powered by a 327 Chevrolet Cubic V8. Built in 1967, run 4-time NASCAR champion Rainey Charland. They won 5 features in 1967 at Albany Saratoga Speedway, which we now affectionately call the Malta Speedway. The Dick Armstrong number 1 Pinto. The number 3, famous Old Blue. Current owner is Ronnie Pond. Rick Mariscal doing the driving tonight. Driven by the late, great Fred DeZaro. Owned and built by Lenny Bola. The number 3 Super Modified. Eddie Seid. The 9 New Hampshire, by the way, is a 1936 Studebaker Coupe. Built in 1972 by Willie Albro. Originally driven by Dennis Albro out of the New Hampshire area, racing at Riverside, the leading New Hampshire Speedway, as well as the Hudson Speedway. The number 13, run by Rusty Smith out of the Claremont Speedway, was the Rookie of the Year. The last coupe, by the way, to run a sanctioned event at the Thompson Speedway. Dennis Gagliardi drove the car to the Westboro Speedway events as the number 1M car. The owner is Tiger Racing, and Butch Mast driving it tonight. The yellow number 14, Les Hinckley. The owner driving the car tonight is Les Hinckley III, a 37 Chevrolet Coupe.